always enjoyed coming back up to West Point and just sharing some thoughts with you. In doing that, obviously the awards are amazing, and to have my name associated with this award is truly a great honor. I would like to tell you about my day yesterday, though, because it was truly a West Point kind of day. I came to New York, and I'm big on teaching leadership, and I partner with our business school at Duke to run leadership conferences every year, where we bring in top CEOs from around the world to talk about leadership. That we started that 10 years ago, and yesterday we did something for the first time. We call it Coach K Fuqua Leadership Roundtable. Again, about 24 CEOs from around the country, around the world, come in, and we have a board meeting, and then we spend the afternoon discussing leadership. It's an amazing thing, and a lot of the things that I talk about are things that I learned here as a cadet, as an officer in the Army, and certainly when I coached here and to continue my association with West Point. But in the meeting, in the roundtable, there was one person there from the military, one of my former players, who now is in charge of the Maneuver Center at Fort Benning, Major General Bob Brown. Bob is going to take over command of 1st Corps at Fort Lewis in June and get his 3rd star. And he's really, he and I have developed a bond over the years and a friendship where we continue to talk about leadership. He was really eloquent about what your Army, our Army is doing. But sometimes when you're here at West Point, and sometimes when you're in the Army, you are so fixated on your mission and what you're doing and your culture that at times you don't realize how other people look at you. And I want to tell you today that at this time in our society, and this is true, this is not bullcrap or anything, this is true, there's no team, no part of our society at this time that is respected more in our country than the military. If you could see these 24 CEOs interact and talk about, especially the Army and especially West Point, and the amount of respect they have for General Brown, your chairs would be levitated right now, and you'd be on cloud 9. Understand that the Army that you're going to go into, that you're in right now, but especially you seniors, you firsties, you're going to be right into them right away. Understand that it is the best fighting force in the history of the world. It's the best fighting force in the history of the world. And you're part of that. And don't underestimate the fact that you are looked upon with such respect throughout our country. Bob made a great point yesterday about his job, and it's the job that you will have. It's the job you're being trained for. He said, 5% of what I do is based on hitting the target. 5%, he says, Coach, this Army can hit the target 100% of the time. That 5% we have down, and we'll keep it forever because of the expertise and the teamwork that we've developed. However, 95% of what I do is not on hitting the target. It's about teaching culture and doing all the other things that now you as Army officers will have to do. Not have to do, will want to do. What I want you to go out when you're and to take advantage of your time here at the Academy is to understand that you are hot tickets. You are the backbone of our country. And if you keep doing what you're doing, it's one of the best ways that our country can get better. For that whole afternoon, we talked about how we might incorporate the military more in what we're doing in our society and get it into its proper place because it's so respected. So that was the afternoon. It was a pretty cool afternoon. Pretty cool afternoon. At night, I went to the New York Knicks Clipper game in Madison Square Garden. We had, for some enjoyment, but I'm going to coach the United States Olympic team again this summer in London. And I'm going to, thank you. I get an opportunity to serve, but also represent my country, which an oath that I gave when I was a cadet for a lifetime of service to our country. Again, it's in sport, not in combat. It's not at the level of what our troops are doing by a long shot, but it's still a pretty cool thing. I'm going to be coaching, guys. We're going to select the team at the end of May, some of the best players in the world. In fact, 4 or 5 of the best players in the world. But we're going to choose from a pool of guys who won the Olympics in 2008. LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, Darren Williams, Chris Paul, Carmelo Anthony, Chris Bosh, these guys. But we're also going to pick from a pool of guys who won our world championships in Istanbul, Turkey 2 years ago. Younger guys like Kevin Durant, Derrick Rose, Russell Westbrook, Kevin Love, Eric Gordon, Stephon Curry, these guys. And so we're going to pick a group of 12. And we have a good culture, just like you have a good culture, but it's continuous in the Army. Our culture gets interrupted by coaching at Duke, playing on the Lakers, playing on the Heat. And so what I'm doing right now is bonding again with my team. So last night, my main purpose for going there last night was to meet with Tyson Chandler and Carmelo Anthony and to make sure that we started our connection again. Chris Paul didn't play, so I had a chance to meet with him longer. And Chris Paul will be a key guy on our Olympic team because he's the guy, and this is a point I want to really make to you, he's the guy that will be in charge of my internal leadership on the court. It's not just about you being this leader of a group, whether it be a company, a platoon, the Corps of Cadets, a battery, whatever it is. You will not be really good unless you develop internal leadership. For me, I have to designate that and develop even a stronger bond with Chris Paul, Kobe, LeBron, and Dwayne Wade. To me, I think those will be my internal leaders. But because LeBron, Kobe, and Dwayne, they're pretty damn good, and sometimes they don't relate to everybody in the unit. Chris Paul is pretty damn good, and he relates to everybody. Plus, he's comfortable enough in what he does where he feels he's at the same stature of LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, and Dwayne Wade. And so he and I are going to be joined at the hip. Whereas the other guys, I'll lock arms with them. And hopefully as a result of that, we will lock arms together and be one of the great teams. In the world that you're going into, the Army really has kind of programmed internal leadership. The key component to internal leadership in the United States military is your non-commissioned officer. Your non-commissioned officer has taken internal leadership to its highest level in the Army. What you will have to do is just kind of what I'm doing. Don't assume that because you have an E6, an E7, a great command sergeant major, don't assume that that job is going to be done. That job has to be done in coordination with you and that internal leadership. And so you, especially as a young officer, will be dealing with somebody who is smarter than you and has more experience in what they're doing. And you will have to develop a relationship. They should not develop that relationship with you. And when you do, you'll be terrific. And if you don't, shame on you. Because this place is not just about making you a leader, it's developing the leadership in your unit. If you only do it externally, or because you got the bars on here, or you're a major or a colonel or whatever, if you don't develop that relationship, your unit will not be at its best. And in the overall group that you're representing, the best fighting force in the world will take a dip. So remember the pride that you have and the place in society that you have. And as you go through your time here, and especially all of you who are going into your first assignments, it's up to you to work on that. In your core squad, club level, and company level athletics, you have a chance to develop that type of leadership also. One of the great things about this place, and it separates this place from any other in the whole world, is that every cadet is an athlete. But every cadet is a leader too. And whether you're the captain of a team, or coach of a team, or a member of a team, you have a chance to be a leader on every squad that you're in. Whether you are that external leader or the perceived leader, or you're an internal leader. Take advantage of doing that, and the character and the lessons that you learn will last a lifetime. I can tell you that for me, I never take off my West Point ring. As we go into this Character Through Sport Award, understand how important the lessons you are going to learn from this. And understand that, like for me, every day of my life, I am proud to be a West Pointer. Every day. Someone will introduce you, and I have a lot of rings. I'm wearing a lot of rings. I'm a lucky guy. I'm wearing my Olympic gold medal ring. We have national championship rings and world championship and all that. But the ring that means the most to me is my West Point ring. And it's the ring that is the basis and the foundation for the other rings. You will always be proud of being a graduate of this great university. Okay? And you will always have the respect of the world. I can tell you that I've had a chance to be in a lot of situations. And it's cool, I'm the Olympic coach and Duke coach. But when somebody said, and by the way, coach is a West Pointer, everything is elevated. Let's remember that. For me, I'm you and you're me. And that's the thing that no other school has. When we graduate from this place, we have each other's back. In integrity, in values, and in winning. In saying that, I want to congratulate the winners, all the people who competed for this award, and let's get on to naming the award winners. Thank you very much.